Hello everyone. Now, did you see the video that I did a couple of weeks ago where I was doing a makeup look for a big night out? Well, if you didn't, I'll link it in the description below. It might make sense for you to go and watch that one before you watch this one, because in that video I was talking about the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate foundation. Now, this foundation costs £150. And I just couldn't get over it in that video. I kept going on about it, didn't I? I was using my Armani Luminous Silk foundation on my face, which I love and I'm really happy with it. And I was just asking myself, could this other foundation that's 3 times the price possibly be 3 times as good? Is that even possible for it to be that good, that it's worth an extra £100? I wasn't sure. Anyway, I kind of convinced myself that no foundation in the world is worth £150. But then I was in town the other day and we have a Fraser's in town and they have a Tom Ford counter, and I couldn't help it. I went up to the counter and I was just doing some swatching on my hands and just having a look at some of these foundations, and it did feel really nice. It felt really smooth. Now, I didn't buy it. I'm not that mad. But what I did do was I got myself a free sample of it, and I've got that free sample here to show you. Oh, look, it comes in a box. I mean, how luxurious and fancy is this? Now, before I start, I've just remembered that I've forgotten to put my ring light on, so hang on. Let's put this on, because you'll probably want to be able to see me as clearly as possible in this video. So it comes in a box. I couldn't get over how cute and how lovely and how luxurious it is to get a sample of a foundation in a box. So already, you know, I think it's looking worth the price tag already just for this. Of course, I'm joking. It's not. And it comes in a lovely little bottle like this with TF on the top there. And the lady shade matched me. She sat me down and she cleaned my skin and she did all the things, and she put something on, and then she put a few different colours on, and she said that this would be my shade, and it's in the shade Buff. So I thought, oh, okay. So I brought it home and I thought, should I just try it out in the privacy of my own bedroom upstairs and not tell anybody? Or should I come on YouTube and actually try it out in front of you all? Maybe compare it with one of the other foundations that I already own and see what we think. So that's what I decided to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare it to another foundation that I already own that has what I think is a similar finish. So the Shade and Illuminate foundation by Tom Ford has quite, it's a medium coverage. It's quite a glowy, healthy looking finish, isn't it? And I've got 3 foundations that I think are also medium coverage, glowy foundations. And they are my Armani Luminous Silk, which is the one I was using in that video where I was talking about the Tom Ford. I really, really like this. I also have the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. This is lovely. This is, a medium buildable coverage with quite a healthy, glowy finish. So there's that one. And the most recent one that I have is the Dior Forever Skin Glow foundation. This is in the shade 1.5N. So out of these 3 possible contenders that I could use today, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Dior one because the colour is the most similar to this. Because I'm going to do a half and half on my face, and then I'm going to spend the rest of the day walking around just getting on with my life with both of these foundations on my face and see how they both wear through the day and compare. So because I think that this one is quite a bit darker, this is in my summer shade, and the Armani one, this shade isn't exactly the same either. So they're not exactly the same, but the colour is the closest. So I'm going to do half of my face in the Dior and half of my face in the Tom Ford. And we'll see if one half of my face looks 3 times better than this side of my face. So let's get to it, shall we? Now I've already moisturised. I haven't used a primer. I just want this to be like, you know, my normal everyday basic skincare so that it's a fair test on both sides of my face. So I'm going to use my trusty Dior Forever Skin Glow first, and I'm going to put that on the left side of my face. And I've got my mirror down here, so I'll be looking down here in case you're wondering. I just put it on my finger. I do tend to use my fingers with foundation. I just find I get a smoother finish that way. So I'm just going to apply this as I normally would. I'm not going to do anything special. Just whack it on and blend it in as best I can. So this Dior foundation, it's around £50, isn't it? I think it's like £48 or something. Which, I mean, that's quite a good amount of money anyway, isn't it, for any item of makeup? But I think a 48 bottle of foundation, if it's going to last me, how long would this last me? Probably a year. Well, maybe longer than a year, actually, because I might not use the same foundation in the winter as I use in the summer, you know, for sort of colour match reasons and things like that. So it might last me like 18 months, one bottle. Okay. Trying to get an exact half. I should draw a line, shouldn't I, down my face? Right, okay. So there we are then. So I've got the Dior on the left side of my face. I think that's quite nice, you know, it's, yeah, medium coverage, nice colour match for me. It's evened out my skin tone. When you look at my redness here, my bits of rosacea, it's covered them nicely. It's gone on lovely and smoothly. It's a really nice foundation. I do have combination skin, so I can get quite oily down the T-zone through the day, so it'll be interesting to see how these two compare where that's concerned. Right, oh, I don't know if I'm nervous or excited or what I am at trying this, because it's £150. I'm really hoping that I don't like it. I really want to hate this foundation. Well, not necessarily hate it, but you know what I mean. I'm really not wanting to like this. Okay, so it comes with one of those little, what do you call them, spatulas? I don't know, little applicator thing in there. So does it have it does have a slight fragrance, actually. Yeah, it's quite nice, quite fresh. So I'm just going to apply this in some little dots on my face. Ooh. Right, I'm just going to blend this in now. Okay, well, first of all, that's lighter, isn't it? Yeah, it's a bit lighter than my Dior. But again, it's going on lovely and smooth. It's got a good amount of coverage. I think it's, yeah, it's kind of covered my redness, hasn't it? I'm just going to put a little bit more on. It's quite a thin texture. I'd say this is a thinner formulation than the Dior, but that's quite good. I don't mind that because it means you can sort of put on a thin layer and then build it up more in the areas that you need a bit more coverage. Let's go up here and get my line in the middle. I mean, it's nice. It's definitely nice, and the smell is lovely. I prefer the smell of this to my Dior, I must say. Bit more on there. Okay, just check I've blended it all nicely. I am feeling like I'm having to go back in with this foundation over my red areas on my cheeks, where I didn't have to do that on the Dior side. So, okay, right, so I think I've got all of that on and blended in. Now, let's give you a good close-up look here. Can you see? Now, I think, I mean, they're pretty similar. They are pretty similar, I have to say. But I actually think I prefer the Dior side. And that is excellent news. That is fabulous news for me. Now, before I give you my final judgment, I mean, I'm going to see how they both wear throughout the day, and I will put a comment in the description box below of how it did wear through the day, just so that you know. I'm going to put some concealer on, and I'm going to put some bronzer and blush on as well, and just see how other products sit on top of it. I'm going to use my Estée Lauder Double Wear Concealer. This is the old formula, it's not the new one. I am going to get the new one, but for now I'm going to use up the one I've got. This is in the shade 2C. So I'm just going to put my concealer where I normally would, just in the corners there where I get a bit dark in the corner of my eyes. Just blend that in with my ring finger. Looking forward to trying the new formulation of this. It's had some really good reviews online. So I always get a bit nervous when companies reformulate products that I love, because you think, oh no, hope they haven't ruined it. But by all accounts so far, they have not ruined it. It's gone down very well. Okay, so the concealer went on nicely on both sides, but it is a really, really good concealer. So that's good. Now I'm going to put a bit of bronzer on the top, and I'm going to use my Lancome Tenti Doll bronzer with just a big fluffy brush like this. And I'm going to try and get an even amount on both sides for fairness. Although, yeah, the colour of the Tom Ford is definitely lighter than the Dior shade. I use the Dior in 1.5 and I've got the Tom Ford in the shade Buff. So I'd say the Buff is a little bit lighter. That's okay, we can sort it out with bronzer. Okay, right. Yeah, the two sides are looking really similar to me. What do you think? I don't think either side is looking particularly glowy at the moment though, but I know from wearing the Dior before, the glow tends to come through after about an hour or so of wearing it, and then through the day, as the natural oils of my face come through, it does get a little bit more glowier through the day. So I'll be interested to see what happens, you know, in an hour or two on the Tom Ford side, and just see if I do get a nice amount of glow from it. Okay, so let's go in with a bit of blush then, and I'm going to use my Hourglass blush in Mood Exposure. It's a really nice shade, this nice pinky tone colour. It's nice to have a nice pink blush for spring, isn't it? So yeah, other products do go on really nicely over the top of it, I must say. Okay, and now I'm just going to finish the look by using a bit of my Estée Lauder lipstick. This is the Pure Colour Envy in the shade 410. The shade's called Dynamic. Okay, so that'll do just for now. So yeah, I have to say, to answer the big $64,000 question though, as to why you all clicked on this video, do I think it's worth £150? Well, my answer is a big fat no. I don't. It's not. This side of my face is not 100 times better. Well, £100, sorry, £100 better than this side, is it? This side of my face is not 3 times better than this side of my face. I don't think it is. From looking in my mirror now, I don't think it is. What do you think? Do you think that this side of my face looks like it's £50 and this side looks like it's £150? Give me your honest opinion. What do you really think? I don't know. Well, I do know. I don't think it's worth it, which I'm absolutely delighted about. If I was to put this on, if it had have blown my socks off, and if I'd have thought it was the best thing since sliced bread, I'd have been really annoyed and upset. because then I'm committed to, you know, buying this £150 bottle of foundation. And I know it's not the most expensive foundation that you can buy, is it? The La Prairie one, you know, the one with the concealer attached to it as well. That is like, it's over £200, isn't it, for that one? I think it's about 220. And that for me is just outrageously bonkers. There's no way in this world that I even want to try a sample of that. I think that's cheeky that people can charge that much for any item of makeup. So it's just my opinion. Feel free to disagree, it's fine. Anyway, let me know what you think. Do you think that this foundation is worth the hefty price tag? Do you think that, you know, this side of my face looks amazing and this side looks not that great? Tell me what you think. But it's been interesting, hasn't it? It's been an interesting experiment, and I will continue to wear it through the day, and I will let you know in the description how it's gone. But thank you so much for joining me. As I say, I'll link the other video in the description as well, where I talk about this foundation and how I feel about it then. So thanks very much for listening to me, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.